Out where the asphalt ends and the mesquite begins, simplicity isn't a theory. It's survival. A modern revolver doesn't ask for perfect conditions. It asks for a clean press and pays you back with ignition you can trust. I've watched good semi-autos stumble on bad magazines, lint, or a tired grip. I've also watched a wheel gun rotate, lock, and fire like it was born for trouble. If you're new here, tap subscribe and ring the bell. Today, I'm laying out 8 revolvers, from .22 LR trainers to .357 Magnum and 10mm hammer carriers, that prove why the old-school solution still wins real-world fights. No hype, just design, construction, and real specs turned into results you can bet your life on. I'm not here to dunk on semi-autos. I carry them. I train with them. And I respect what they do well. But when dust, sweat, and stress stack the deck against you, a revolver's manual of arms keeps the variables down. In double-action DA, I get a single, consistent trigger cycle. In single-action SA, I can slow down for precision. There's no slide to outrun a weak grip, no magazine to seat under panic, and no tap rack ritual while the world moves. The cylinder rotates a fresh round with every stroke, and the feed path is essentially straight from chamber to barrel. Training is where the value starts. A .22 LR wheel gun lets me rack up reps, trigger control, sight alignment, follow-through, for pennies, step up to 38 Special plus P, .357 Magnum, or 10mm auto, and all that discipline comes with me. In Texas heat and Texas dust, I've learned that simple, sealed, and stout outlast theory. That's the lens I use for every gun you're about to see. Call this the gateway that never stops being useful. The Charter Arms Pathfinder II brings .22 LR8 shot capacity and a handy 3.5-inch barrel into a package right around 20 ounces. It's light enough to carry on chores and heavy enough to teach honest trigger work. The bright front blade pops in sunlight. The adjustable rear lets me center whatever bulk ammo shoots best, and the small frame geometry keeps the muzzle where I want it during fast DA strings. What matters is what it does to your shooting. I run 5-shot DA groups at 7-12 yards, chase a fist-sized circle, and time the beep to first shot split. The Pathfinder II makes misses obvious and corrections repeatable. On the ranch, it lives as a pest control partner. At the range, it's a discipline machine. With MSRP in the low to mid dollars 500s, it's one of the few starter guns that still serves as your forever trainer. This is the little revolver with the big trick. The Charter Arms Double Dog eats 9mm without moon clips thanks to a clever spring-loaded extractor star, and it can swap to .357 Magnum with a dedicated cylinder. That means I can stock a single, affordable caliber for high-volume practice and still carry Magnum authority when I need it. In the 2.2-inch ported barrel configuration, the muzzle rise stays honest, not rude, and the compact frame rides easy, whether I'm under a light shirt or a barn jacket. The Double Dog is about logistics and simplicity. I can train with cheap, ubiquitous 9mm, confirm point of impact with my carry load, and maintain one manual of arms for both rolls. No clips to bend, drop, or forget. I dump cases and close the cylinder. In a season where time and ammo dollars are both tight, the ability to move between 9mm and .357 in one wheel gun isn't marketing. It's a daily advantage. Most snubs are something you have, not something you shoot. The Taurus 817 changes that math. It stuffs 7 rounds of .38 Special plus P into a 2-inch vertical stainless steel frame with DA/SA capability and, crucially, a replaceable front sight that shares the footprint with the Taurus 856. That means I can drop in a tritium or brighter blade and actually see what I'm aiming at when the sun's low and my heart rate's high. The extra 2 rounds over the standard 5-shot snub are not theory. They're time, space, and options. The 817's weight sits in the sweet spot enough mass to practice for real. Not so much that I leave it at home. On the timer, I run draw-to-first shot drills from concealment and string 2 DA hits into the A-zone. The gun track's flat enough to keep a front sight and gives me repeatable splits that translate to confidence. Because carry guns should be shot weekly, not admired occasionally. The Diamondback SDR looks like a compact, but it behaves like a shooter's gun. The stainless steel frame brings real durability. The DA pull lives in the about 9 to 11.5 pounds window without the dreaded stacking, while the SA brake drops to a crisp about 3 to 3.5 pound. That balance lets me push DA transitions with control and then stage a precision hold when the target demands it. Up front, A low-profile fiber optic sight grabs my eye even under washed-out midday glare, and the 45 degrees recessed crown guards accuracy when the muzzle meets ugly realities. Fences, truck beds, rocky dirt. Weight matters for practice, and the about 21 ounces trim hits the concealed carry middle ground light enough to live with, heavy enough to empty a 150-round practice box without regret. In holsters, the SDR's grip frame fills the palm without printing like a brick. In drills, it rewards a straight-back press and punishes laziness, exactly what a carry revolver should do. If your snub has ever felt like a chore, the SDR feels like a solution. If you want a revolver that looks you in the eye and says fight, meet the Taurus 66 Combat. It carries 7 rounds of .357 Magnum, a tuned Dow trigger, and a modern surprise and optic-ready cut for Shield RMSC pattern micro red dots paired with a fiber optic front. That red dot isn't a toy. It's a way to make DA hits faster and cleaner when adrenaline tries to steal your front sight. The 3-inch barrel is the sweet spot, long enough to boost velocity and stretch sight radius, short enough to disappear under a cover garment. With an all-steel build in the mid-30-ounce neighborhood, the 66 Combat soaks up Magnum recoil, letting me keep the dot in the window and stack hits without chasing the gun between shots. When I run bill drills or the 5-yard roundup in DA only, it tells me the truth. Clean press, clean hit, sloppy press, blown shot. It's the fighting wheel gun. Updated for the 2020 S.I. doesn't have to feel like a toy. The Colt King Cobra Target 22 LR holds 10 rounds in a steel frame that balances like a real working handgun. The vented rib keeps the sighting plane steady, and the Hogue over-molded grips lock the gun into my hand without hot spots during long sessions. You'll see 4.25-inch and 6-inch barrels, both long enough to stretch sight radius and let bulk ammo show you what it can do. What makes the KCT special is how directly it transfers skill. The DA pull is smooth for a rimfire, the SA break is crisp, and the weight makes dry fire and live fire feel like the same gun. I'll run 50 to 100 round blocks strictly DA, tracking group size, cadence, and drift. When I jump back to 38 plus P or 357, the gun doesn't feel heavier, it feels familiar. That's how rimfire should serve you as a rehearsal for the main show, not a detour. Some handguns wear a uniform. The Colt Viper 357 wears a suit that can fight, offered in 3-inch and 4.25-inch trims on a steel frame with a partial underlug. It keeps just enough weight forward to manage recoil without feeling nose-heavy. The ramped front and U-notch rear are simple, durable, and quick to pick up. Exactly what a defensive 357 needs. This is the revolver for shooters who like fundamentals done clean. The DA arc is honest rather than glamorous. It wants a straight finger and a patient press. In return, it prints where you tell it, and it carries like it means business. With launch pricing around $999, the Viper lands in that serious use bracket where the gun isn't a novelty. It's an everyday sidearm for folks who still believe a 3-inch 357 is the right size for most of life's problems. There's a difference between carry gun and country gun. The S&W Model 610 mountain gun is squarely the latter that can serve as the former. With a 4.25-inch barrel, a stout end frame, and weight around 40.2 ounces, it handles 10mm auto like it was designed for it, which it was. Many trims pair a gold bead front with an adjustable rear, a combo that stays visible against brush, rock, and shadow. The magic is moon clips. They bind 6 10mm rounds into a fast, foolproof reload that feels closer to swapping a magazine than feeding a traditional speed loader. Even better, the same clips let the 610 run 40 S&W so I can train with affordable, everywhere available 40 and carry full power 10mm when the truck points at the backcountry. I'll start a session with 40 to groove mechanics and finish with 10mm to confirm point of impact and recoil control in places where the map goes brown and the phone goes quiet. That dual caliber logistics is worth more than any spec sheet. Talk is cheap, reps are rent. With the Pathfinder II and King Cobra Target 22, I begin students on 5-shot DA strings at 7-12 yards, no SA crutch, focusing on front sight confirmation and a continuous, even press through the whole arc. We record beep to first shot and split to shot 2, then hold standards fist size on demand, not once in a while. when that's reliable. We rolled a 38 plus P on the Taurus 817. Keeping the same cadence and sight discipline, students learn that recoil is a variable you manage, not a surprise you suffer. With the Diamondback SDR, I add movement, draw to first shot, sidestep, DA pair, assess. The no-stack DA makes it clear when you're mashing versus pressing. The Taurus 66 Combat gets the dot treatment. We run bill drills and the 5-yard roundup DA only with an RMSC pattern optic, which punishes poor trigger timing by bouncing the dot. For the S&W 610, I block practice 40 S&W for volume and economy, 10 mm to finish for authority. We track point of impact, reload times with moon clips, and whether grip integrity falls apart when the power comes up. The notebook doesn't lie, and neither do the hits. If you're building fundamentals on a budget, start with 22 LR. The Pathfinder II keeps the platform light and honest, while the King Cobra Target 22 gives you the heft and sight radius to measure every mistake and turn it into progress. When you're ready to carry daily, the Taurus 817 answers the classic snub riddle with 7 rounds, real sights, and a frame you'll actually practice with. If you've tried snubs that felt like punishment, the Diamondback SDR shows what a compact revolver feels like when the DA pull is smooth and the front sight is bright. If your idea of a defensive handgun includes modern optics and a barrel length that wrings more speed out of .357, the Taurus 66 Combat plants you in the 3-inch red dot era without apology. If you want a classic that carries like a gentleman and fights like a ranch hand, the Colt Viper 357 is the working steel solution. And if your world includes dirt roads, coyotes, hogs, or bigger questions, the S&W 610 mountain gun earns space in the truck, 10 mm for muscle, 40 S&W for economy, both fed by moon clips that reload as if they came out of a magazine pouch. Here's the plain truth from a Texas porch if you want near absolute reliability, a trigger you can learn to master, and sighting systems that work when light, weather, and heart rate don't. These 8 modern revolvers are the smart play. Build trigger discipline for pennies with 22 LR on the Pathfinder II and King Cobra Target. Carry with conviction in 38 Special plus P and 357 Magnum using the Taurus 817, Diamondback SDR, and Taurus 66 Combat. When the country goes wide and the unknowns get big, the Smith Wesson 610 Mountain gun pairs 10 mm authority with 40 S&W economy and moon clip speed. Guns are tools first, trust second, and that trust gets earned one press at a time. If this helped you map your next purchase or tighten your training plan, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the field tests I've got loading. Tell me your EDC setup, your holster, and your ammo in the comments. I'll take a few of your configs to the range and show you what the timer says. No excuses, just results.